Hi. That was the worst countdown you've ever done. That was the worst countdown you've ever done. My name is Brandon Walker. I'm feeling better today. Not physically. I'm quite sick, but emotionally I'm doing better. I've recovered a little bit. Plus, hey, where's the mic? Look at this. Look at this tie. Look at that tie. Is that a good looking tie? That's a good looking tie right there, isn't it? I have everybody on the Facebook Live says I'm still sad. I'm okay. I'm doing a little bit better. No intro music. We never do intro music, Bill Anderson, on the Facebook Live. We do it on the podcast, which comes in about 5 minutes. So we'll get there. Hello from Missouri. Hello, Joshua Watts. I'm getting there. You know why I'm getting there? Because I put together a show today. We're moving forward. We're looking forward. We're looking forward at Mississippi State football this year. We're looking forward at Mississippi State men's basketball, which is going to be getting a lot of preseason hype. We're looking forward at MSU women's basketball, which is going to stay good. We're not looking backwards. We're not looking at what happened the other day. We're looking forward at what is going to happen in 2018-19 because, listen, there's a lot to get sad about from the other night, but there's a lot to get excited about when you think of the future of Mississippi State athletics, the coaches that are on campus right now, the coaches that might be on campus, the players that are on campus, the players that might be on campus. There's plenty to get excited about, so that's where I'm at today. Hail State from Forney, Texas, Stephen C. Wright, hello. Lance Chain checking in from Mendenhall down there in Simpson County. Tennessee representing the Dogs, Sherry Martin. Good to have you, Sherry. Not sure I've ever seen Sherry here before, maybe a couple of times. Antoine Armstead in Artesia, Mississippi, just there in Lowndes County between Macon and West Point. Artesia, not really anywhere. Still sad we lost, but thrilled we made it to the championship game. The tie is indeed sharp. Thank you, Lynn Rhodes Gilmer. I'm already excited about next year's women's basketball team, says Bill Anderson. It's hard to name a team on campus that I'm not excited for. I'm excited about next year's football season. I'm excited about next year's men's basketball. Baseball, we'll see who we hire, but, anytime you hire a coach, you're going to have optimism going into the next year. Listen, and I haven't talked about it enough, but softball looks really, really good. Men's tennis is good all of a sudden. There's not really a team on campus I'm not excited about. Dan McDonald, new baseball coach. Wouldn't that be the ultimate crushing blow to Louisville, says Charlie Jones. It would be. It would be. It would be very interesting. Hail State from South Haven, says Demetric Thompson. Oh, I'm sorry, Demetric Thompson Pope. Thank you very much. South Haven checking in this morning up there in DeSoto County. Downtown Columbus on a mail route, says Katitra Clark. I can't say mail route, but I can say Katitra Clark every single time. I'm having trouble out here. Let's get some sweet tea. Look at those beautiful cowbells. Look at that tie. Look at that tie. That's a good-looking tie. Maroon & Company. That's where I got it. I got it at Maroon & Company. I got this tie at Maroon Company and also got this bell there, but this tie is something else. I love it. I might just wear it forever. Hi. Look at that. We're fancy. What's going on here? What happened? Oh, wait. It's this one. It's this one. Look at that. Look, don't zoom too close. Look at that. That is beautiful. They never should have gave y'all money. I can tell you that right now. They never should have gave y'all these toys. Okay, you're zoomed in on my tie. That's fantastic. That's a mighty big cup of sweet tea you got there. It's actually water. It's actually water today. I can't drink that much tea. Hail State from K-Rear, Mississippi. See how I said it, Rob Harrison? I said it right, didn't I? From K-Rear. A lot of people would look at that and would say Carrier or Carrier, but no, I know what it is. It's K-Rear down in Pearl River County. Good morning, Mr. Walker. Hello, Steve C. Good to see you. I got a good little audience here today. Again, we're going to look forward. We're not looking backwards. The only thing backward is disappointment. That happened Sunday night, but we're looking forward to a good football season. We're actually going to be talking about quarterbacks today, and Mississippi State has a good quarterback this year. They'll have a good quarterback when Keaton Thompson is there, and it looks like, if you're reading the recruiting tea leaves, Joe Moorhead has got the right oars in the water to get a good quarterback here for the future. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about men's basketball. The AP likes them. AP has them at number 20. CBS Sports likes them all the way up at number 16 in the preseason. We'll talk about Mississippi State in the way too early preseason polls for next season. And women's basketball not going anywhere. We'll talk about that. 2-minute drill. I've got the 2-minute drill ready. You like the 2-minute drill today? I thought it was pretty clever.
It is. It's a good one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Got some good answers coming.
You got some? I never should have gave you the questions.
Oh.
I told you not to make that noise again. Hail State from inside my feelings, says Ethan Fleury. Wayman Hodge says, Brandon, I don't care what 98% of the audience says. You're a pretty good guy. You're a pretty cool guy. Excuse me. I like to think 98% of my audience adores me. That's what I tell myself when I lay down at night, and that's what I tell myself when I wake up in the morning to get onto the I-75 and come down here. Good morning from Ackerman, Shirley Rigby Sanders. Ackerman, Choctaw County? Is that right? I feel like that's right. Yeah,
that's right.
You have no idea.
Choctaw County. Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Will Peters be back? Martin Smith. I think so. I think Peters will be back. I don't think Peters is going anywhere. Remove the pin post, please, Matt Weisinger. No, we're trying to pin the post today. We're going with that. We're doing some things. I've got Terp over there pinning the post. So just everybody chill out. No one came here to read, Matt Weisinger. That's a good point. But you know what? Terp didn't come here to spell either. So we're gonna see how well it works. I heard you can't spell. Is that true?
I can spell very well. What are you talking about?
Mark told me you can't spell.
Well, I don't make any. If you're talking about yesterday when it said "up happy" on SEC Country Live, you know who types in SEC Country Live?
That one.
Yeah.
That one right there.
And I run it, so it makes it look like I typed, but I did.
Good morning from Pearl, Mississippi. Hello. Is Pap's place still in Ackerman? Good question. They won't rob you. They'll just fill your belly. All right. We're going to talk about football and quarterbacks specifically. We're going to talk about men's basketball. We're going to talk about women's basketball. Patrick, you look very bored over there. Are you ready? I guess that's a yes.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
All right, I'm ready. Brandon Walker, I'm going forward. I have to do a show every single day, so I can't come to you all sad and teary-eyed, and I can't tell you what went wrong, and I can't tell you, I wish things had happened differently. Those are all true, but today is about the future. Mississippi State is going forward. Mississippi State in 2018-19 is going to be loaded in several sports. Football looks good. Men's basketball looks good. Women's basketball ain't going anywhere. Things are good at Mississippi State, and I'm wearing a balling tie right now. Look at this tie. This is a beautiful tie I got from Maroon & Company, a Mississippi State tie. I am feeling good on a Tuesday here at More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Look at that tie. We have zoomed all the way. I have not rung the bell. Did I forget to ring the bell? We are officially ringing here on a Tuesday. Like I said, I'm feeling good. I felt so good I didn't want to ring the I forgot to ring the bell. Now I've rang it. I feel great. Now, again, Maroon & Company, this tie that you can see on the Facebook Live. You can't see it on the podcast, but it's maroon. It has Mississippi State logos on it. I also have this beautiful junction bell that you can only get at Maroon & Company, which is on Highway 12 behind Chick-fil-A in Starkville. MaroonandCo.com or at Maroon & Co. on Twitter and other social media. Check them out. And you are really happy with your new zooming technology on the Facebook Live, aren't you? That is a good-looking tie. I like you zooming in on the tie, but just be careful what you zoom in on because, you know, this right here, not pretty. So you gotta stay away. Now, we're going to talk about football today. We're going to talk about specifically quarterbacks. It started with Dak Prescott and Dan Mullen. They started this recent quarterback lineage where, you know, Dak Prescott, all SEC quarterback now in the NFL. Nick Fitzgerald, all SEC quarterback. I think Keaton Thompson in the future is going to be a possible all SEC quarterback. Can Joe Moorhead keep that going? I believe he can. It looks like he is going to be able to keep it going. good news on the recruiting front, or at least good vibrations on the recruiting front coming out in the last couple of days. We'll talk about that. Men's basketball in good shape going forward. Men's basketball getting all kind of love. The national championship was last night. Villanova destroyed Michigan after one shining moment ended. As soon as it ended, you get all these way too early preseason top 25s. And guess what? For the first time in almost a decade, there's Mississippi State in these way too early preseason top 25s. People like us. I like us. We'll talk about that. And women's basketball. It hurt. It was bad. But this team ain't going anywhere. This team is still going to be good, still going to be talented, still going to be somebody to watch next season. We'll talk about that later on. 2-minute drill at the end of the show to finish this show out. And the questions are they're just plain weird today. They're just plain weird, and I'm very excited about that because the weirder the better on this show. Now, let's go to the top of the show. Mississippi State. Dak Prescott started it all a couple of years ago. His run to compete for the Heisman Trophy, taking us to number 1, showed us what is possible at quarterback at Mississippi State, showed us what you can do, what kind of athlete, what kind of impact you can make as a quarterback at Mississippi State. Nick Fitzgerald has been terrific as well. He's been very good. He has one more year at Mississippi State. He will usher in the Joe Moorhead offense. The first quarterback ever to play the Joe Moorhead offense at Mississippi State will be Nick Fitzgerald. He'll have it for a year. Then he'll presumably hand it off to Keaton Thompson, the electric freshman out of New Orleans, Louisiana, who led us to a victory over Louisville in the bowl game. He was terrific in doing so. He showed a lot of glimpses for the future. I feel really good about where Mississippi State is at the quarterback position right now. With Fitzgerald, you have one of your best quarterbacks you've ever had. You have somebody who can presumably, after being in the Mullen offense, adapt to whatever Moorhead wants to do. And you have somebody who can hold the car in the middle of the road for 1 year until you give it to Keaton Thompson. You hand over the keys to Keaton Thompson. So who gets the keys after Keaton Thompson? You just signed a 4-star out of Texas, Jalen Maiden, who presumably, I will assume, will redshirt this year. Now, I could be wrong. He might play. But I'm just going to assume he'll redshirt this year. He's not on campus yet, so he won't get here till the summer. I just don't see a quarterback playing under that circumstance. But Joe Moorhead now has his chance in his first full recruiting class to go get his guy, to go get somebody to run his offense, to go cherry pick somebody in the high school ranks that fits the profile he wants. Now, he was at Penn State as the offensive coordinator, so he made connections. He was already recruiting guys at Penn State, and it looks like one of those guys, Garrett Schrader, is probably target number 1 for Mississippi State on the recruiting front. So what will the Joe Moorhead era look like as far as recruiting quarterbacks? It starts with Garrett Schrader. Garrett Schrader is a 6'4", 200-pound dual-threat quarterback out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Garrett Schrader passed for 24 touchdowns, 2,300 yards in 2017. As a sophomore before that, 2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's 6'4". He plays at Charlotte Christian. He looks like an athlete, looks like a very good quarterback. Looks like somebody who can control the tempo of the game under a Joe Moorhead offense. And things are trending pretty well with Garrett Schrader. Now, he is a 3-star on 24/7 Sports. I think that rating is a little wonky. I think that'll get fixed. I think he'll get re-rated soon and probably be a 4-star. He is somebody that has offers from South Carolina, Mississippi State. He lists offers from Arkansas. He lists offers from Alabama. He has offers from all over the country. So that ranking right now is kind of foolish. And don't worry about that 3-star. He's not a 3-star. He's a 4-star if there ever was one. And right now, momentum for Mississippi State is building on the recruiting trail as far as Garrett Schrader goes. Just yesterday, April 2nd, 2018, what's his name? Steve Wiltfong, one of the national guys for 24/7, changed his prediction. He had his crystal ball prediction for Garrett Schrader, South Carolina. He did that in early March. Yesterday, he changed it to Mississippi State. He didn't do that because he woke up and thought, let me make friends in Starkville today. He didn't do that because he woke up and said, oh, by the way, I want to mess with South Carolina fans. He did that because something led him to believe Garrett Schrader is leaning towards Mississippi State. Now, we have our spring game in a couple of weeks. I think Schrader is going to be on campus. I don't know if he's going to commit. I don't want this show to be, oh, look, let's be on the lookout for a Schrader commitment. I don't know. But I do know that Joe Moorhead is out there, and Joe Moorhead is looking nationally for his quarterback. and he is not settling for, within 150 miles of campus. He is going out there. He's in Charlotte, North Carolina, trying to get this guy, and all indications are that it is working so far. He is doing a good job of getting this guy to buy into what Mississippi State is doing. And it's not hard to see. If you can get them on campus and they see all the talent that's on the team right now, if they can see this incredible facility we have, if they can see everything we got going on, if they can see the atmosphere we have for our sports at Mississippi State, it's not hard to see why a guy would want to come here. Schrader's not the only one. You got Kenneth Jefferson, a 3-star guy from North Panola High School in Mississippi. You got Peter Parrish, a 6'2", 190-pound 3-star from Phoenix City, Alabama. I mean, Joe Moorhead might take 2 quarterbacks in this class. He might take 2. He might just say, listen, I'm going to build my quarterback room the way I want it built, and I might take 2 this go-round. But right now, you go from Dak Prescott to Fitzgerald to Keaton Thompson. Who's next? Joe Moorhead's not playing around. He's not playing around. He is serious, and I believe with this offense, with this coach, he is going to get the quarterback he wants, and Garrett Schrader is certainly a name to watch. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to follow Mississippi State football. We went so many years without, I grew up, I'm 38. I grew up in the 80s. I can't point to a quarterback. John Bond was before my time. I can't point to a quarterback and say, wow, I'm so proud he played at Mississippi State. In the 90s, we were so good, we just never got quarterback exactly right. In the 2000s, we weren't good at all and never got quarterback right. And then Dan Mullen, to his credit, fixed it. Dan Mullen got so much out of quarterback early, then he got Dak Prescott and showed what was possible. He got Nick Fitzgerald out of nowhere, show what was possible. And now Joe Moorhead, who I think offensively is even a step ahead of Mullen, it's very exciting that he has honed in on this guy. He has honed in on these guys to bring in at quarterback. Very exciting future. Another exciting future for Mississippi State, men's basketball. Men's basketball in early preseason polls. The national title game was last night. Landshark. The national title game was last night. Villanova beat Michigan, and already there are some early preseason polls out there. And Mississippi State is making appearances in them, and you can knock me over with a feather because it's been so long since it happened. I was already excited about Mississippi State men's basketball. I felt good about it, but I didn't know that nationally other people felt good about it too. SB Nation is on the screen right there. They have Mississippi State at number 25. It says Ben Howland returns pretty much every piece from a talented team that hit its stride a little too late to make the tournament. Assuming that progress carries over, State should be a player in the rejuvenated SEC. That's very well put by SB Nation. CBS Sports has Mississippi State in their early preseason poll at number 16. Why are the Bulldogs ranked here? Everybody from a 25-win team that advanced to the semifinals of the NIT should be back, which makes State a factor in the SEC and a likely NCAA tournament team for the first time under Ben Howland. Quindary Weatherspoon, Nick Weatherspoon are both back. Everybody's back. You're bringing in a 5-star guy. National people are noticing. And CBS at 16, boy, that sounds really good. A top 16 team in the country next year, that is really something as Mississippi State looks to rebuild this basketball program, and you're almost there. It has taken forever, but we're almost there. Now, 3 keys to this. It's one thing to have national expectations. It's another thing to live up to them. 3 keys for me for this. You got to bring everybody back that's relevant. If somebody deep on the bench transfers, whatever. But you can't lose Lamar Peters to an NBA decision that might be foolish. You can't lose somebody else to a transfer that you don't need to lose. You got to bring everybody back that's relevant. You have the pieces there right now. You have the pieces, but you got to bring them all back. And in college basketball, that's easier said than done. It doesn't always happen. College basketball players will transfer in a second. So you got to bring them all back. Number 2, you have to schedule like a team that plans to be good. You can't schedule the way we scheduled this year. You can't schedule a non-conference that doesn't meet the standard of NCAA tournament teams. You have to come in and you have to plan to be good. You have to plan to be relevant. I think we will, but that's on us. That's on us to put a schedule out there that allows us to say we are one of the top 25 teams in the country. We're not scared of playing anybody. We're going to beat them. We're going to be in the NCAA tournament then. You got to schedule like it matters. That's on us. This year we played Cincinnati. Great non-conference game, but that was the only one. We need about 4 or 5 of those next year. At least 4 or 5 of them. And winning them isn't even that important. Yeah, if you win them, you give yourself, so much. It helps you so much. But even if you don't win them, they still help you, which is crazy, but they do. And number 3, Reggie Perry, the 5-star out of Thomasville, Georgia, needs to live up to the hype. Robert Woodard's going to be good, 4-star out of Columbus. If Perry comes in as a legit 5-star guy, if Perry comes in as a guy who can score 12 and get 10 rebounds a night, 12 and 8, something like that, even 10 and 6, you've got something special. Because there's enough there now. He doesn't have to be the star. He just has to show star potential. He has to show that he is a legitimate college basketball player from the beginning. If he does that, if he lives up to that hype as a freshman, 16 might not be high enough. 16 might not be high enough. As you can tell, I'm very excited about men's basketball. My excitement about women's basketball is going nowhere. Nowhere. Yeah, the other night sucked. It did. We came that close. But you know what? Average teams don't come that close. Average programs don't come that close. Average people don't come that close. We don't have average program. We don't have average players. We don't have an average coach. We don't have average people at Mississippi State women's basketball. We have an elite coach with elite players and elite people, and we're going to be back. We're going to be back. Maybe not in the national title game next year, but we're going to build back to it. We're still a top 20 team in this country next year. Jasmine Holmes is back. Jordan Danbury is back. Chloe Bibby is back. Tiara McCowan will be an unanimous All-American next year. You're bringing Maya Taylor off the bench this year. She redshirted. Yeah, I watched Villanova last night, and they were so good. Dante DiVincenzo scored 31 points. He redshirted. Nobody redshirts anymore in college basketball. He redshirted. Maya Taylor, a 5-star guard, redshirted. That is going to be so valuable. She watched this run on the bench. She's going to be ready. You're bringing in a class with 2 5-stars, both post players. Daphne White out of off the coast, a girl from Georgia, 6'5" girl from Georgia. I forget her name, and I should have wrote it down. Then you've got Zaria Taylor, I think, from Virginia, 4-star athletic forward. She is outstanding. You got so much talent coming in. You got talent already there. Hey, I just saw on the wire, Texas A&M graduate transfer is on the market, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Enriel Howard, rumors are out there that Starkville could be her destination. If that were to happen, all of a sudden you might not take the step back you planned on taking. But the overall point here is this. It hurt, but it ain't over. It stinks, but it ain't the end. It just feels like it. It just feels like it. They'll be back. 2-minute drill. Was this a fast show today? I feel like I'm rolling pretty good out here. I feel like I'm fantastic. You're getting a good version of Brandon Walker. But it happened a little too quickly. 2-minute drill. Everybody ready? Number 1. Are you going to pin number 1? Number 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with the current state of Mississippi State athletics? On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with the current state of Mississippi State athletics? Obviously, the baseball team, not where we want it. Football team, going in the right direction. Men's basketball, going in the right direction. Women's basketball, if you were individually rating, is at a 10. Kevin Wright says a 7. Wayman Hodge says 7. 8, 7. I think you guys are really, it's 7. You guys are tough teachers, aren't you? I'm at like an 8 or a 9. If football gets on the ball this fall, we'll be a solid 9, says Blake Moore. Timothy Giles has a 9. 6.5 for John Stringer. 9.5 for Deborah Williams-Pace. 8 for Eric Wiggins. 8.5 for Trey Adcock. A 9 for D. Curtis. An 8 for Jonathan Simmons. I think 8 or 9 is very positive. It's not a 10 because you're never really fully satisfied, right? 7, but get baseball right, and it's a 10. 7, but would be 8.5 if we had a baseball coach. Waiting to see if Moorhead is for real. That's fair from John Stringer. A 9 from Benjamin Crawford. An 8 would be a 10, but baseball is hurting right now, says Thomas Gaboy. All right. Good question. Number 2, if you could hire any current MSU coach to a lifetime contract, who do you pick? Any. Now, the obvious answer is Vic Schaefer, but listen, Ben Howland gets us in the top 20 next year for real. Start thinking about him. Joe Moorhead, maybe you want to take a flyer on him. Maybe you want to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. I like what he is bringing to the table. Well, the answer right now is Vic for sure. But it's decent to think about, right? See if anybody's going to say anybody but Vic. Let's see. Vic. Moorhead, Ethan Fleury did it. Ethan Fleury. I can always count on Ethan. Vic, Schaefer, Joe Moorhead from Jeremiah Body. So overwhelmingly, it's Vic Schaefer, which is the correct answer. But I'm telling you, give Howland a year, and we might change to Ben Howland. Number 3. Let's get off of Mississippi State and get a little goofy. If you could start living the life of a TV character on any show, if you could live in any TV show ever, where are you living? Where are you choosing to live your life? What life do you want? What TV life do you want? Why did you pin that twice, Terp?
If you look at it, I didn't pin it twice. One is the original comment, and the second is the pinned version of said comment. And as comments roll in, it will go down.
Fuller House, says Bobby Richardson. And the Andy Griffith Show says Mac McBrayer. He wants to live in Mayberry. That's not terrible. It'd suck to live in black and white, but I guess halfway through your life it would turn to color. The Jetsons, says Steve C. Mayberry again. Calm down, Bells. The bells are ringing themselves out here. Knight Rider, Longmire, The Unit, Blue Bloods. Somebody wants to be Benjamin Crawford wants to be Frank Reagan of the Blue Bloods. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, I'm living with them. That's a good one. I would totally live in Bel Air with those people. First Aunt Viv, though, right? Not second Aunt Viv. First Aunt Viv. Tony Stark's Iron Man. Fresh Prince again. Bewitched. Betty Anderson says sorry she missed most of the show. We'll go back and watch it, Betty. It's okay. Bobby Toomey says Magnum P.I. Yeah, I can see you as Magnum P.I., Bobby Toomey.
What's your answer? This is a very simple answer.
Well,
to this question.
Well,
it's a very easy answer to this
here's
question.
The thing. You can never say it because of the trouble the actor got into later in his life, but I would like to go back and live as a Cosby kid. I'd like to be a Huxtable. That's who I want to be. I want to be the middle Huxtable child.
Landshark says Kardashians. That's her answer. My answer is Entourage. That is easily the best answer. Just be a movie star with all your best friends. Move to LA. Yep.
Number 4. What's the stupidest thing you've ever done on a dare? I'd like to see what you guys come up with here. What's the stupidest thing you've ever done on a dare? Somebody said Little House on the Prairie. That sounds tough. That's unnecessarily tough, isn't it? What's the stupidest thing you've ever done on a dare? Terp, you got an answer ready for that one?
No, not that's suitable for the show.
Became a producer for More Cowbell?
Yes.
Jeremiah Body says kiss a friend. Buster Bones says no comment. Matt Weisinger says Entourage is the correct answer. Oh, everybody got quiet on this dare question. Everybody, kudos to you, Jeremiah. Danny E. Pinter says, where do I start? John Stringer says, carry the KA cannon to the stadium at 3 a.m. That seems dangerous. Tim Franks won't answer. Statute of limitations isn't up, whatever. Jumped off a cliff into the Buffalo something, says, wow. Dived off a gravel dredge. Walked through a minefield. That seems foolish. Climbed to the top of a hotel with no roof access to borrow a flag. I think that Robert Kimdichi said that. Walked a rail over water with a 40-pound tool belt. Benjamin Crawford. What is wrong with you people? Mine was like, I ate a hot pepper. You guys are doing stuff that can get you killed. Crossed a train trestle over the 10 Tom. Rode a bike down a cliff, then crashed, says Kenny Manning. Oh, boy. You guys are insane. Jumped off a cliff into the Buffalo River, says D. Curtis. You know, I know that's probably just a river named Buffalo, but I like to think it's a river full of buffaloes that she jumped into. Wouldn't that be a lot more exciting? No? Okay. Visited Ole Miss, says Sherry Martin. It's pretty good. Stuffed a Big Mac in one bite. Let someone push me in an office chair and try to smash me through a door. We need to move on. This is getting rough. Number 5. I'm just so proud of this question. I couldn't. I'm so happy. Terp, do you have an answer to this question? Okay, you're ready. Good, because it's going to take them a while to think of something. If you could uninvent one thing in life, if you could uninvent one thing, what do you uninvent? Terp, what's your answer?
Took me a long while because I like a lot of inventions, but mine would be the air dryer in bathrooms for your hands. They don't work and they're very loud. I'd rather just have paper towels.
So the air dryer.
Yes, I hate them. They don't do their job.
If you could eliminate one thing on Earth, you would eliminate
one thing on Earth. Yes.
Air dryer.
Yes.
The hotty toddy chant, Twitter, the University of Mississippi, cell phones, says Daniel Martin, never a day off. Brian Johns is the one that said Twitter. Jason Neal Galt said hotty toddy. John Stringer said Ole Miss. Matt Weisinger says the U.S. measurement system. He would rather go with a metric. Timothy Giles says cancer. I don't think cancer was invented, though. I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about inventing. Something that was invented at some point. Mosquitoes. Again, don't think anybody invented mosquitoes. If they did, they're a son of a... Okay. The Democratic Party. Self-checkout at Walmart. Okay, Antoine Armstead, listen. You're my guy and everything, but no. If I'm getting rid of anything, I'm getting rid of the regular checkout lines. Yeah. I want all self-checkout. I just wish you could just check out from wherever you are in Walmart. Like if I've got my stuff and I just take my phone out and go click, 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 and done, and then walk out I don't have to stand in a line at all. That's what I wish I could do. Group text messages, cigarettes, says Kenny Manning. The concept of time. Who invented that? You guys want to get rid of everything. Nuclear weapons. Although I guess somebody way back came up with the concept of time. I mean, we were just here on the planet, right? And they said, well, we got to come up with increments of time to keep up with everything. So I guess he's right.
Matt Weisinger has a good answer. Daylight savings.
Are we in daylight savings now?
I don't know. Whatever
we're in daylight savings now, right?
Darker earlier, I want to.
Yeah, then you want to. Daylight saving is what we're in now.
I like this.
Yeah, so you don't want to get rid of it. You want to just adapt it.
Yes.
Okay. Adopt it. Click and pick at Kroger. It takes up all the good parking. Hangovers. Nick Saban. Who invented Nick Saban? What a diabolical invention that was. All right. Podcast listeners, I'm going to drop you off here mercifully. Mercifully going to drop you off. We'll be back tomorrow to talk something. I'm going to try to get Steve Robertson on the show to talk about recruiting. Until next time on the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. All right. How about if you use self-checkout, shouldn't you get an employee discount, says Bobby Toomey. I just love self-checkout. Although, if I've got $300 worth of groceries, I'm not self-checking that out. So I do need the lines for that. White state helmets. I love the white helmets. I love all our helmets. I've never been a uniform. I've never been a guy that says, oh, I hate this, I hate that. I just love them all. If they got the state logo on there, I'm good. Checking in from Albuquerque. It's been a minute, says Eric Wiggins. Hey, Eric, how you doing? I'm just going to pick up the mic so you can see this tie. Zoom in on the tie again. I got it. Okay, there we go. Zoom in on that tie. Look at that. Well, move. Oh, look at that. Is that beautiful? That's a good-looking tie. Boy, that's a nice camera. It's a really nice camera. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that tie. All right. Bring back the gold helmets. Taxes. Matt Weisinger says, Brandon, if I get a master's degree from Notre Dame, does that make me a bad person? No, that's not what makes you a bad person. Many other reasons. That's a good tie. Thank you. I got it from Maroon & Company. At Maroon & Co. on Twitter. MaroonandCo.com. Jackie Sherrill wannabe? Is that supposed to make me feel bad? Would I like to be Jackie Sherrill? Yeah. Yeah, I would. So, if that was supposed to make me feel bad, it ain't. Ray Leno says the Confederate flag. I guess he's uninventing that. Thank you. That's a good-looking tie. Justin Russell, I appreciate that. Women's basketball would be taller, faster, more athletic, higher rated, but much less experienced. True. True. That is correct. Uninvent the current NCAA refs. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. If Big T can develop into the go-to scorer Vivian's was, then we can go just as far. I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think she'll ever be anything more than dominate around the basket and get easy shots. But she can still dominate. She needs a running mate. Who can step up as the running mate is the key. I'd like to see the football team in throwback unis from the 80s, says Kenny Manning. We did have good-looking uniforms back then. And the 90s. The 90s is my heyday, and I think we had great uniforms back then. Again, I don't hate our uniforms now. I think we look fine. I think we look good. All right. What you eating today, Landshark? Downstairs? Turk, where are you going to eat?
I don't know yet. Thought about it.
That's exciting.
Where are you going to eat?
I don't know.
Well, that's exciting.
Do you want to fight me?
Yes.
You want to fight me?
Facebook Live it.
Facebook Live a fight between you and I?
I would love to do that.
You better measure that tree out there because you're going to need to be jumping to it.
No.
There's a tree. There's a tree outside the window that's 20 feet from the window, and he thinks if we ever have to evacuate this building and leave in a hurry, he can jump to that tree. You will die.
It's not 20 feet, A. B, there's a drop, and I know for a fact I can make it.
We're on the 4th floor, man.
Yeah, the tree is not on the ground.
Are you going to the spring game? No, Bill Anderson, I'm not. I'm not going to the spring game. Would love to. I need to email marketing, or I need to email Mississippi State again. I've had conversations about having Joe Moorhead on this show, and I'm reminding myself I got to email them today because I'm supposed to check in this week.
There's my tree.
Tacos sounds good. Look, yeah, but go lower.
You can't.
Wait, is that the camera right here?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. What a beautiful view outside.
I could jump to that tree.
You could not jump to that
Easily.
tree. You can't tell on the camera how far it is.
It's not far.
Because she zoomed in all the way. No, he ain't jumping to that tree. I'm sorry. Look at me in the background. Hey! If the NCAA refs can't get any better than they showed this year, then basketball really isn't worth watching. The refs have too much influence on the outcome. I agree, Scott H. Chilton. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good on the women's show. It's not good on the men's side, the women's side. It's just not good. They make SEC football refs look incredible. We were going to do lunch at the spring game, Brandon. Oh, D. Curtis, I think we got confused there. I was going to be coming this weekend for the Ole Miss series. Maybe I thought that was the spring game weekend when we originally said that. Okay, maybe I'll come to the spring game. I've been needing to come home for a while anyway. Looks like my trip this weekend isn't going to be able to happen. Get Schaefer on the show. I'd love to have Schaefer on the show. Plus, MSU women's basketball SID is from West Point. I should be able to do that. Not the hideous jerseys with the vertical stripes that we had with Billard, says Stephen Stafford. We're doing jersey talk today, I guess. It was the spring game series at one point. There you go, Eric Wickens. Thank you very much. How's the car situation going? Thank you, Wayman Hodge. Went and bought a car cash money yesterday. Bought a car off Craigslist. Had never done that. Was terrified I was going to get robbed. Huh?
What car did you get?
We'll talk about it off the air. I don't want to tell everybody what my car is. It's not a great car, but it's a car.
It's probably awesome.
Maroon. Hey, it's maroon. I got me a gas saver. I've never had a gas saver. I'm 6'5", 280 pounds, and I'm going to be sitting in a car that saves gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The softball coach on your show, Van Studeman. I'd love to get the softball coach on my show. You guys just want all the coaches on my show. You know what? Why don't I just try to get the coaches on my show, huh?
Why don't we get Moorhead on the show?
Are you paying attention?
No, not at all.
I literally just talked about it.
Oh, let's do it.
A Prius. No, I didn't get a Prius. I did not get a Prius. Vic Schaefer may be too serious for this show. Ethan Fleury. You know, Ethan, it's crazy you said that. I met Vic Schaefer one time and talked to him, and he was very, very serious. And, like, it was awkward because I was, like, asking questions, and he was answering very point blank. And it wasn't the smoothest conversation you've ever seen. It was very awkward. Terp, I dare you to jump to that tree. Matt Weisinger. Thank God.
Get rid of the window. I'll do it right now.
No, we're not getting rid of the window.
That's what I'm saying.
We need the window.
I will do that. Can we recreate it in some controlled environment?
You want to build a 4-story building?
No, it doesn't have to be
plant
4
a
stories.
tree
All you have to do is
and
build
put a tree
this
out
distance.
there.
It doesn't have to be 4 stories high. It just has to be this distance.
Vic is intense. He is. Get Matt White. I've had Matt White on the show several times before. And I do enjoy having Matt White on the show. I like having somebody uglier than me on the show. And that's rare, but I got Matt Wyatt. I got Steve Robertson. I got Brian Haydad. Well, I got a wealth of options when it comes to guys uglier than me to have on the show. Matt Wyatt, certainly one that fits the bill. Really unfortunate looking guy. I mean, decent, tall quarterback, but his hair just said about 5 years ago, I'm out. I just can't do this anymore. I'm going to go. Let's have a day where your staff does the dares from the listening audience, says Buster Bone. What do you guys think? You want to do a dare day where they dare us to do something and we do it? Landshark, you do not want to say yes. I can promise you that. This Mississippi State audience would have you it would not go well. It would not go well. What if they dared you to ring a cowbell on camera? Huh?
She already did it, apparently.
You never rung cowbell on the show.
Go ring it right now. Go ring it.
I dare you to come ring a cowbell.
Ooh, dare.
I dare you to come
Double
ring a
dare.
cowbell. I want you to come ring this cowbell right here. Right now.
Do it. I'll run this.
I will give you $1 if you come ring this cowbell.
Ooh, that's big money.
Will you ring the cowbell tomorrow? Tomorrow. Luckily, we're almost out of time, so she's okay. But I swear before everybody looking here on this show, if you can see me in the eyes right now, that Ole Miss graduate right there will stand right here beside me and ring this cowbell on this show tomorrow. You're going to do it, right? We'll see.
She's backing out.
She is backing out. She was the first one when I said, hey, do y'all want to do a dare day? She was the first one. It was like,
that's true.
and then as soon as I dare her to do anything, it's, we'll see. We'll see. You ready? All right, good. Thank goodness you are ready because we just ran out of things to talk about. But I had a good show, fun show. Enjoyed everybody being here as we always do. The helmets look good today. Everything looks shiny today. What a good studio day. You got the camera going. Everything looks nice up here. I'm wearing a tie. It's a little off center now, but look at that. It's a beautiful tie. 2 days ago it was bad. We were depressed, but hey, let's go forward. Let's march on. Mississippi State, fantastic place to be from, fantastic university to pull for. Thank God we're all Mississippi State fans. And, hey, everything looks good at Mississippi State. Everything looks good on this show. Landshark is going to ring the cowbell tomorrow. Things are good. My name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.